watch, and it's my watch now. I've taken the midnight to 3 a.m. and we are cooking now. The night didn't start off as a really good night. The seas are just all sorts of messy, and the winds definitely have piped up. I think we've got about 25 knots of wind, and we are hitting speeds of 10 consistently. So this boat is designed for this. She's getting to places as quickly as possible. Steven and I just put two reefs actually in the mainsail for the rest of the night. Just a little bit more comfortable position of the boat and the wind angle. So it's my watch now. So this is technically our third day at sea and our second day out in the Pacific. Based on the weather that we had downloaded, we are gonna have a couple of days of this just messy seas. The winds are a little variable. So as soon as we get a little further out and actually a little further south, we are gonna hit this bar of wind that are the trade winds that are just going to take us straight across to Hawaii. It's right now, the seas are just super chop and consistent, rocking the boat around. Last night the wind was howling, so we were making good speed, but now it's just up and down, so nothing really consistent about it. Lots of sail changes going on for the time being, but honestly in the next day or two we should be holding a rather consistent wind and stay just on one tack for a little while. But we're all just trying to get our sea legs, get into a rhythm, our sleeping pattern with all the watches. So, but it's a beautiful day. It's gorgeous. It's sunny. The water is blue, like a cobalt blue. It's amazing the difference after leaving the Sea of Cortez just off the point of Cabo. And then now you wake up the next morning and boom, it's just blue. The big blue.
I've been missing these blue waters.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh.
It's a different blue.
It's so blue.
It's the deep Pacific Ocean blue.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a little better.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. The winds are variable, pretty variable.
Next 2 days is predicted to be that way, yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna go through a lot of this, and then we should have really solid winds after about 2 or 3 days. Like the trade winds is what we're in, just a really consistent, strong. And that'll be nice. The sea should be more consistent and not so confused.
Yeah, I was saying that just earlier, how we're gonna have 2 days of this, and then we'll have some consistency and just keep the sails up and let it rip.
Let's hope.
Okay.
We better. We've lost just about all of our wind. Yeah, it's pretty hard on the boat. This too, beating into the wind is pretty hard too, but when you lose it and we're doing our best to sail, but we're moving back and forth. The sail constantly filling and then emptying. It's pretty hard on the boat and the rig too. And it's definitely harder on our psyche too, because we're doing 3 knots. But that's sailing, I guess. That's sailing. Woo! beautiful sunset right now. Just gorgeous. Here it is.
Come on. You're hilarious.
Here's our life.
Yeah, here's our life. The sunset almost makes up for the poor sea conditions. It's not great.
Not really good right now.
No.
A little wobbly.
But it is beautiful right now.
Well, there we go.
Oh yeah. Putting you both in it.
No, I don't want to be
Wow, it's beautiful though. So pretty.
Oh, I can see the rabbits on the moon.
Yeah?
Oh, yes!
Big dolphin.
What?
Oh, look at the color.
Oh my god! Yes! They're coming from everywhere! Wow!
The color, they're so clear.
Yes! Oh my god, they're huge! Oh, do you hear them?
Yes.
Oh my god, they're squeaking so loud. Listen to that.
That's incredible.
That's a GoPro?
Thank
Wow.
Good morning. This is the 5th day out at sea on our way to Hawaii. If you can hear it, we finally have turned off the motors. We've had them running for the last 24 hours. We've had zero wind. The trade winds are out here somewhere, and we just found ourselves in a lull. But there is actually this little remote island that we have found. We didn't discover it, but we've come upon it, and we are possibly thinking about going over there and anchoring if we can. But there are zero charts. It's really remote. It's part of this little cluster of islands off the Mexican coast here. But all we know is it's a nature reserve, really, and hopefully the sea life is abundant, because we're going to try to get in the water while it's this calm. But we do have the sails up, and we're We're going about 5 to 6 knots, which is great. Yeah, we just kind of are waiting for the winds to show back up and take us to Hawaii, and then we'll stay on that same tack for the whole trip. But so far so good. 5 days has been really pleasant, aside from motoring and having no winds, but there is a trade-off without the wind. We had a dolphin visit yesterday, and the water is so clear. It just, you could see, it's like an aquarium. The dolphins are right there. So we were sitting on the front there for about a half an hour with them, and that's just one trade-off. But other than that, it's just been nice getting into our little rhythm here, getting used to this big boat. Still rather intimidating, but she handles really well. And Warren's also feeling a little better. He's not 100%, but he is definitely better than he was yesterday, so that's a relief. I really hope it just kind of dies off in the next day for him, because that street burrito did not do him good at all. Anyways, I want him to be back to his normal self so he can enjoy this. Other than that, I know he's feeling pretty crummy. So yeah, there's a little update for you guys. Check back in later.
It is incroyable. Incroyable.
Have we discovered a new island?
Yeah, not Hawaii. We're just short of it. But yeah, some isolated, completely deserted island that I'm sure very few people ever make it to, because it is so far out here. There's just nothing here.
What are we, about 400 miles
yeah,
offshore?
400 miles offshore.
Yeah.
And we normally would never have tried to get here, but we've had to come so far south because of the wind patterns. We're trying to get out of this lull, this high pressure center with no winds, and so we've come way further south than we planned on, and coming right by it, so we're gonna stop and see if we can go swimming and hang around.
Yeah. For us. This is Isla Clarion, and it is still technically part of Mexico, and it is all protected. It's a major nature reserve, so it's pretty exciting that we get to come out here and explore it and check it out and see. Already we can see all these bird colonies up there. Super excited to get in the water, possibly to see all the sea life. But yes, definitely some place that not a lot of people get to come and explore. So thank you, winds, for taking us this direction. We get the opportunity to check it out. What have you spotted, babe?
We caught a humpback whale and her calf.
Oh,
And the calf is
young calf.
just having a blast, just playing around, just doing all sorts of things.
And there's a
Steven
pot of
spotted her.
dolphins.
with a pot of
And
dolphins.
mother is resting on the, looks like she's on the seabed resting.
I'm about 20 feet above them. Bringing the dolphins right above the whale.
No way!
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's hard to tell, but that mom
That's
is
the
down
mom.
there, and the dolphins are swimming around. But that dark circle is her, just resting.
Where's
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Come on, come to the surface. We want to see you, Mama.
Don't worry, she can't stay down that long.
40 minutes.
Up to
Oh, she's
40
moving.
minutes when
resting.
she's resting.
Moving though, isn't she?
How amazing! I'm so glad Warren threw up
Yeah.
the drone. Well, Steven spotted a spout, and then Warren popped the drone over there, and a pot of dolphins with a calf and a mama just resting. Woo!
Vessel.
We asked
And then we asked permission to anchor, and he said not allowed.
You're not allowed to anchor.
No.
All right. Okay, then.
I would.
say.
I wonder
Now
if he would even let the dinghy down though, if they would allow that.
Does he? Can he understand that? Could you ask?
Yeah.
Okay, ask.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's on it?
Okay.
You want to come to the beach?
See.
Si, senor.
Ah, no, sorry, that's not allowed.
Okay, alright. Gracias, senor. This is Wolfhound standing by on channel 16, heading
No, we're not allowed.
No go?
No go. Darn it.
I had a feeling. I mean, it is a
Protected area.
protected area.
It's true.
So unfortunately, we don't get to go to shore or anchor, which is as expected for a preserve and a nature reserve. But we did get to spot the whale and her calf, which is exciting. And a little bit of part of me is very happy to know that an island as deserted as it is has people on it regulating and protecting it. So as much as we want to go explore and check it out,
and the baby.
yeah,
That's
it's
her.
being very well looked after.
I found her again.
She's right in front of us.
Right in front of us?
Yeah. God, it is just gorgeous
That
over there,
looks
right
like
on the
two
E.
whales. There's the whale and a calf. There's another whale.
There is another whale.
There's 2 whales and a calf. Look.
Wow, right on
Can
the
you
edge
see,
of the
Stephen?
reef.
Yeah, I can.
Calf.
Wow.
It would be amazing
God,
to
it
go
would be
swim with
amazing.
it.
Yeah. And they're just resting. Hey, she's coming to the surface.
Okay, now we got spotted. The baby's coming to the surface.
Baby's at the surface right now. Well, that's a real shame that didn't work out at that island. I know we all would have liked to have gone swimming and been able to hang out there, but I guess it's still protected, you know, and I don't know from who. Maybe it's really far out, you know, it's a couple hundred miles offshore. Maybe it was some deep sea fishermen that were not behaving properly and they had to shut it down, but whatever it is, we can't be there. So we're gonna press on, and God, we have no wind at all. But tomorrow looks like the day that it should kick back up. So we're crossing our fingers. I know Eric and I are wondering if we're cursed, because man, it just always seems to go this way. But Lou and Steven reassure us that it's just the way it goes sailing sometimes, you know. I would have thought that we would have had pretty good trade winds for a while now. You know, as soon as we get a little bit offshore, they kick in, but that's just not the case. It's just, sailing's not always like that, I guess. It's frustrating, but it's just the way it is. Good morning, everybody. Finally feeling better. That's a huge positive. And I did my first watch in a couple days. I had the morning shift, so it's about 7 a.m. First cup of coffee in 3 days, and it is delicious. I have been missing that. I had a piece of toast this morning, so I'm finally starting to put down some real food. Starting to feel better. Start to hydrate my body again and get some nutrients in it. So it's one thing being sick, it's a whole different animal being sick on a boat. It just adds to it when you're constantly rocking back and forth, and I think it just makes it a little bit worse. But I'll quit complaining. Pretty happy. Had a beautiful sunrise. We're finally into the trade winds. It looks like quite a bit offshore right now, so we're definitely getting some winds that we've been looking for. And we've downloaded, for about the 17th time, we've downloaded the current weather. I think we've gone a little overboard just because we've been just hoping for better winds, so we just keep checking, and it looks like finally we're in the trade winds, and starting this morning we should just have consistent winds from here on out all the way to Hawaii. We hope. Pretty pleasant morning, pretty happy to be out here. Actually, I'm really happy to be out here. This is fantastic. About 2 more weeks of this. Not so bad. Actually, it's lovely.